This is Chip Maxwell, and you're listening to the Retire Smart podcast with David Brooks. At 55 years old, can I withdraw from my Roth account penalty-free? Do I have to complete 5 years at my job to receive the company match to my 401k contributions? And in starting a new job, are there any scenarios in which I should opt out of utilizing the 401k option? David Brooks has answers to these questions in today's Q&A episode. Into the Q&A we go. Speaking of Roth accounts, the first question is about a Roth withdrawal. I put $25,000 in a Roth account 10 years ago. I want to withdraw funds from that account, but I'm only 55, and I know you have to be 59 and a half to withdraw penalty-free. Someone told me I still might be able to tap those funds without a penalty. Is that true?
Okay, it depends. And it potentially, so I don't know the specifics here, but basically we're told you put 25 grand in a Roth account about 10 years ago. Well, the max contribution you could have put into that account was significantly less than that 10 years ago. So we need to know, was this a rollover that came from an IRA and converted to a Roth? Or was this an actual contribution? Because if it was a rollover and a conversion, you're still going to have the account established 5 years, 10 years, you're covered, and you would have to be 59 and a half to avoid the 10.5% penalty. But if it was your actual contributions, and now you can make contributions over $7,000 to a Roth, back, when they started, it was only $2,000. Your contributions are always eligible to be withdrawn tax-free immediately. There is no holding period whatsoever. So if these were true contributions, the answer is yes, you can take the money out tax-free without a penalty. You cannot touch any of the gains or the return on those investments, interest, dividends, capital gains, etc. You may only take out the exact contribution that you put in to the account. So if you've got good records, you may be able to access, but you're going to want to make sure you have these records in case that you took a withdrawal and then you got audited.
So when it comes to a contribution, I don't even have to wait 5 years.
No, because you've already paid tax on that money. You've already paid the tax on
got his piece of the action.
The benefit of the
already.
Roth is then you invest that money, and what it gains, we are now going to make you wait till 59 and a half, or what we call qualified age, to access those gains. So the two main rules for a Roth, just real quick: be 59 and a half and have the account established for 5 years. Those are the two primary rules. There's a lot of other rules, but if you keep those in mind, you'll probably keep yourself in pretty good framework. And if you got more questions, then just give us a call. We'll help get you steered the right way.
David, next we have a question about 401k vesting. I signed up for the company 401k match when I began my current job 2 years ago. I didn't realize it at the time, but it takes 5 years for the company match to vest. Does that mean the match money is not really there until I complete 5 years at the company?
Okay, you may be confused on what's being vested. So 401k plans are your dollars the minute if the employer has set up a safe harbor 401k plan, which most of them are going to be, their contribution to you is vested immediately. They can't withhold the vesting on that. They may add a profit sharing component. We've done that for many years here for our employees, where we put in additional contribution from the profit of the company once a year. It goes into the employee's 401k. That may have a vesting schedule depending on how the company set it up. And 5 years is the most common that we see. So in other words, let's just say that you put 15 grand of your salary deferred into your 401k, you earn some money in there, and then in the spring, and it's usually around February, and these contributions take place, at least for us, the company may make a profit-sharing contribution on the employee's behalf into the 401k with the vesting center. Maybe they say, hey, we dropped another 5 grand in your 401k on your behalf from the profit sharing. You didn't contribute to that. Therefore, they can put a vesting schedule because you weren't part of that contribution. They were. And the reason they put that vesting schedule is this is buying loyalty, right? They want you at the firm long term. So putting this vesting schedule kind of, hey, you need to hang out so you can actually earn all that. So you would typically vest about 20% in that example, $1,000 of that contribution per year. So typically that's what you're going to see is a profit sharing would come with a vesting schedule. And that's the whole point. The company is going to share its profits with you, the employee. In return, they're trying to buy longevity and loyalty for you to be better and more competent at your job the longer you're there typically.
So it could be now you see it, now you don't. If you
now,
leave
if you were to
early
leave
before the
willy-nilly,
vesting period.
you would leave
But
your
it's not
contribution.
deceptive. Everybody knows what the ground rules are going
Correct.
into
And
it.
again, if you're not
Yeah.
sure on the 401k, you
Okay.
by law can request the documents for your 401k that govern it, and you can literally just email them right to us right here at the show. I'll review it personally and get back to you. So if you have questions, just let us know.
Another 401k question, David. This one is about potential disadvantages. And, well, that's basically the question. Are there any disadvantages to a 401k? I'm about to begin a new job and the employer offers a 401k. Are there scenarios where you recommend against utilizing the 401k option?
Well, if you have no match from the company, and unfortunately, when companies have to tighten the belt during recessionary periods, during COVID, we saw this, a lot of companies killed the match, the employee match. So again, there's a lot of ways these can be set up. If you're getting free money, we would highly encourage you to take free money. In other words,
Meaning the match.
Yeah. So, for instance, our 401k here at work, we give a 4% match, dollar for dollar, for our employees to try and put in 4. So, if my employee puts in 4%, I put another 4% in. Chip, this is a math question. If somebody's paid $50,000 a year and they decide to put in 4%, okay, that's $2,000. And the company matches that $2,000. What's the return on their investment?
Hey, now I'm getting $4,000 on that.
So that's
investment.
100% return on your investment.
Yeah.
How many investments do you know guarantee 100% rate of return?
Too many. Yeah.
So you would distinctly want to take advantage of that, even if you are a low-risk consumer. Now, there are a lot of things you need to look at when you're doing the 401k. Do they offer a Roth version, which I usually recommend? In other words, you pay the tax now, you put that money in there, and the money will grow tax-free and come out later. Typically, the company match, though, will go in the traditional side, and then you'd have a balance. You'd have some tax-free money later and some tax-deferred money. So there's a lot of reasons to utilize 401k. But what we don't want you to do is not take advantage of free money. If there's no free match, and you're not going to max contribute to it, especially on the Roth side, we'd probably tell you then just use a Roth IRA instead if you're only going to put, say, the $7,000 or so inside the Roth IRA. Again, a lot of factors in there, but yes, there are certain times we'd recommend not to utilize 401k. And the only thing I'll leave it on there is, unfortunately, 401ks are very limited and typically have a really bad lineup of investment vehicles. Most of them are just packed with these target date funds that are horrible investments, in my opinion.
Well, so is the 401k, is it like a mutual fund in that regard? Or
most of the time, it's going to be a selection of about 12 to 15 mutual funds. Been tampered down. Now, some 401ks are more robust, offer you straight brokerage inside them, et cetera. There's a myriad of opportunity in there. But just make sure, I would recommend seeking professional advice on how you're going to allocate those dollars into your account. And if you're starting a new job, it's very important. Little tidbit here. If you're starting a brand new job, in other words, you're putting $1 into the account, you should be extremely aggressive inside that allocation because it's only a few dollars, right? You're only putting a few $100s in per paycheck. So you don't have a lot of dollars at risk where your old 401k or IRA, you probably have what your life savings is in there, a good bit of it. You might want to roll that with a professional to something like an IRA and then have them asset allocate that to diversify your risk. But inside a brand new 401k, you could probably be pretty aggressive for the first year and then make sure you meet with somebody to back down that aggressiveness once you've accumulated some dollars in there.
Thank you for listening to the Retire Smart podcast with David Brooks. If you want to learn how to generate lifetime income, reduce your tax bill, and maintain your lifestyle in retirement, visit retiresmartpodcast.com. And make sure to subscribe to keep up with new episodes every week.